All right, Man United co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe there. I'm sure for the United fans, you'll be seeing a lot of this man, you know, on social, on TV. You listen to him a lot more. You read a lot more from him. Kwame, so at least that part, the complex part of whether or not it would happen, it won't happen, Sheikh Jassim, who some people are beginning to say didn't even exist. I don't even know where that story is coming.
The Athletic did a whole article on whether the man exists or not. They did that.
Yeah,
and it was, I think it informed the question they asked Sir Jim Ratcliffe.
Yes.
And that was when he also
He
more lights
like,
and
doesn't even exist.
sort of threw a shade at the whole Sheikh Jassim thing. And it's
so, Kwame, your thoughts. Emmanuel seems to think when he looks at INEOS' body of work in football, it's not too convincing. So what do you think? Will things change?
That is it was a very excellent point, very legit. I mean, to look at, he owns a lot of a sporting franchise, so there's a cycling. Mm-hmm. He's been successful with Eliud Kipchoge's run.
The record-breaking attempt. Yeah,
success in other sporting, with Formula One as well.
Yeah.
I think
Mercedes.
Yeah,
so there's been some sailing. I think they've had some.
You get it. So, and if you're a United fan and you watch this interview, he spoke about how this whole thing. I mean, his work in the petrochemical engineering thing, up onto the point of owning sporting franchise, and said that United was the icing on the cake. All right. During the interview with the Athletic, he made mention of something. At INEOS, they accept mistakes, but they don't allow themselves to make mistakes twice. And he referenced the things that they've done at Lausanne and also at Nice, and the mistakes that they've done.
And the lessons.
The lessons that they've picked up. Okay, so there's a 71-year-old man, says, I'm a boyhood United fan, catalogued a lot of the things that he's been doing, like he did as a kid, watching the 99 final in Camp Nou and everything, having Eric Cantona as iconic, the guy that he really likes and all of that. So he has nothing to lose. He says it's about money. He's making a lot of money in this oil petrochemical stuff that he already deals with. So you see fire in his eyes. You see some of the things that he said, very concise, very direct, and very straight to the point. He says it's not like a bulb a light bulb that you just turn on and off and then things will change. He's been very specific. Give me 3 years. Give me 3 years. Of course, you need a certain number of transfer windows to refresh the team, clear some people out and all of that. Now, he's doing everything the Glazers didn't want to do or never did. So in the eyes of the fans, yes, he's winning the PR game. He was at the Munich Disaster Memorial. The Glazers were never there. He attended a game right after. He attended a Spurs game after the deal was confirmed. Sir David Brailsford has been attending every game since the deal was announced on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
I mean, trying his best to, explain to the fans exactly what he intends to do. Now, let's look at the structures he's trying to put in place. The Glazers never cared. You can think about it that way, yes. They entrust the teams in some people. Now, Ferguson was there when the Glazers took over. Ferguson was Ferguson. So what Ferguson would do on the field, and Ferguson was the institution at that point. So what Ferguson did at that point would probably cover a lot of the things the Glazers were not, because you had Ferguson, you had David Gill. Yeah. A perfect combination. A man who understands the boardroom, a man who
So even if there were mistakes on the side of the Glazers, they had experience.
They were in control. They entrusted everything into Ferguson's hand.
So there was a lot of success too.
Exactly. So. That's the whole point. Now,
let's wrap it up.
When it got to the point that they had to take over and they gave it to Ed Woodward, the Bristol guys, solid business ideas, solid business knowledge.
But they were not football people.
Not football people. Now, Ratcliffe says, I'm going to get the best in class. Go to Citi, poach Omar Barada. Go to Newcastle, poach. So they are trying to structure things. So I believe on that score, there's going to be a shift. Now, as to whether it will work or not, we would have to look at the quality of decisions they make from the summer. Okay. And that's where we'll see whether things will work or not. But I believe things will work. I'm very hopeful that.
So for you, when you look at just the initial steps, you feel that they are sensible steps all proper clubs must make.
Absolutely.
And he's making
We all
them.
complain about lack of correct football. It's been family and friends. It's been John Mertog who came in and then Darren Fletcher. What is Fletcher's experience? I mean, what is
funny.
John Mertog's experience? He was just following Woodward, taking notes. And
Then
was
there was
how
Matt Hargreaves, the negotiator.
They are all bound to leave at some point because these guys don't have the experience to handle things at that level. And they are bringing in proven people who are on the cusp of like rising to the next level of their thing to pick over things. So we can only be hopeful.
All right, look, Man United fans, wherever you are, you can continue the debate. You see the things that are happening, you know, whether or not you believe it will work. We'll find out in the course of time. They say time shames or vindicates. That's what I said when Ole was in charge. And guess who was vindicated? All right, guys, thank you so much. Thank you, Man Onubo. Thank you, Kwame Bafu Jr. Thank you others for watching. It's been another exciting episode of the Premier League Preview Show